show, the fast 5 things you need to know. We'll start your day off swirly, it's the toast. I sound amazing.
Welcome back to the... Oh, no, hold on.
Welcome back to the no.
Welcome back to the no, hold on. Okay, should we just start?
That's funny, sure.
Okay. Hey, Jax, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing sweaty. I have had such a busy morning. I literally ran off of a fire truck to come record the show because we were at a program party this morning, and it was one of my favorite kinds of events, which is touch a truck, which is not something I would have
Apparently, this is like a category of child's party. I'd never heard of it. A touch a truck party?
Yeah, like a touch a truck event where a local place will invite all the great trucks to come and the kids can touch a truck. And I would have never understood why that's amazing before having sons. But let me tell you, the trucks were touched.
Okay.
And I was touched vis-a-vis the trucks.
I also had like a crazy morning, but not even close. I washed and blew out my hair because we had like 2 extra hours since you were out touching trucks. We're recording a little bit late. So it was like kind of the perfect time for me to wash my hair this week. I'm broken. Like I'm dead.
Yeah, no, I'm a bit broken from carrying the 2 on top of a full like working digger. That was major. The fire truck,
also known as an excavator, correct?
Oh yeah, but the kids don't call it that because
no, I know.
Unless you're, a Blippi
Unless
Sam.
anybody listening to this show like doesn't have kids and they don't know what a digger is. I didn't know what that was either, but like it's an excavator, the yellow cat.
The yellow cat, exactly. The fire truck, though, had Pargy AC, so I want to shout out to the fire truck because the others did not. So it was really fun. If you ever find yourself able...
At a TAT event?
Or available to attend a touch a truck, I would highly recommend it.
Are they colloquially known as Tates? Tuck a truck event?
Oh, no, maybe they're Tats. Touch a trucks.
Or Tates, tuck a truck... Wait, what are we saying? Touch a truck events.
Perhaps.
Events. I want to go to events. Invite me to your events.
Touch a truck events. Invite me to your touch a truck events. We will come there and we will touch them trucks.
We will touch them. It's also just like, I know it's a weird word, touch.
But that's exactly what it is. All kids want to do is touch trucks. They want to look at them. They want to be up close. And this provides that opportunity.
It's Friday and that's fabulous, obviously, but it definitely feels like a weird kind of Friday because I don't want to like let down the SCQ.
Southern Charm community.
But Jackie, for the first time, didn't watch Southern Charm.
You know what? I had to force myself not to watch Southern Charm last night because I knew that today's episode, we were either going to be doing it really early or late. And I didn't want to feel compelled to do a Southern Charm recap and make the show a Nalafi. When we don't have time for a Nalafi, it might be a Nasafi or a Narafi.
We have time today for a Nalafi, though. Like now that we decided to record late.
That's true. I feel like it'll be a Narafi, a nice regular episode for you.
You can't predict these things, though,
No, it's a nice regular one for you.
Or it could be Narefi. Nice regular episode for you.
Yes, so I held back. And also, I was just like on my phone last night. I got home late because we were out to dinner and it wasn't in the cards for me. So I'm sorry to the small and mighty Southern Charm community. I do want to know what the barber told Ryan, that told Leva, that told JJ, that JJ said to the barber. I do want to know.
Wait, I'm sure you don't know about this, but like Leva has found herself in like some drama on TikTok that made its way. And it has nothing to do with the show. It has to do with her restaurant.
Her restaurant has its own show, Southern Hospitality.
She opened a new place, Zachary's Daiquiris. Are you familiar?
Zachary's Daiquiris?
Yeah.
Who's Zachary?
No clue. And so somebody posted a review, and normally like a restaurant review, like on TikTok, nobody cares. But when they realized it was Leva's restaurant, it became this like huge scandal. I'm really not clear on the details, but she's being accused of like elitism. I think maybe a little bit of racism as well for enforcing a dress code. I'm not 100% sure. I found myself in the middle of the Zachary's Daiquiris drama, and like you know what I said to myself? I said, how did we get here? How do we get out? And I just like kept scrolling, but just want to let you know, she's kind of going through it.
Interesting. You haven't provided enough color, so I don't really
I don't have it. I don't have
really
it to provide.
what she's going through.
I'm not with her. She's got her restaurant's like going through a big scandal.
She'll be okay.
Yeah, they're like review bombing it.
She'll be fine, but that's annoying. But that's just that's just what it is when you launch businesses off of reality TV or social media. Like it's the tides, rising tides, raise all tides. low tides lower all shides.
The vibes today might be off, one, because there's no SCQ, but also because I chose the stories. Jax was super busy, and I feel like I kind of did an amazing job. What did you think when you opened them up?
So it's funny. Some of them were the obvious ones. Like, of course, Meghan's Lemonada.
Lemonada Schmemonada.
It's Lemonada o'clock. Like,
no,
I'm tingling.
It's Female Founder Friday, okay?
It is Female Founder Friday. Of course, we were going to talk about that. And then you chose actually like a lot of TV stuff.
Yeah, I did end up on Deadline.com.
No, this literally feels like an episode of like TV Guide. Like
there was a lot of news about television.
No, I know. I wonder if I would have come to the same conclusions, but I love it. I love it.
We'll just
let them yell at you
for
for a day. I
right.
love it.
It's a lot of pressure choosing the story. So if you didn't like it today, it was all Jackie.
No, it was all Kojers. I know everyone like loves to it's an art choosing stories. Like,
it is. It's hard.
Some things that like you think we should choose a story, like it's just not meaty. Like, you know what I mean?
There's not enough to like converse about. But also like sometimes I have to really, I know when to put forth like internet stuff that I want to talk about, right? And like that I can explain to you and some of our, beloved Gen X listeners. And the other week, there was something going on the internet that people were like really shook we weren't talking about. I'm sure you don't even know about it.
What?
It was like this rap battle beef between Alabama Barker and Bad Baby, the Cash Me Outside girl.
I do know about it.
Now, I want to tell you guys, I know nothing about it other than what I just said, that Travis Barker's daughter, Alabama, who's like a social media influencer and who's like 16, is beefing with the Cash Me Outside Dr. Phil girl, who has like become a pretty like well-respected rapper.
And like a wealthy woman.
Yes.
She's a woman
Beyond
of means.
that, I actually like couldn't get myself to learn more about the drama. Like I have standards for myself. You know what I mean? And like that is information I actually don't want to know. I don't think it's good for my brain. I don't think it's good for the baby.
Yeah, no, I have a life. I have friends and family, and I just don't need to be spending my time doing that.
I can't.
Also, like Tyga was involved in some way.
Oh, was he? See, I don't know. I don't care to know. Like that is something I actually chose. I would like to be excluded from this narrative. Wait, speaking of the baby, I did something really crazy last night.
The bad baby?
No, the good baby.
Bobby?
I went to bed and I was just like, when you like get in your head about something, like it's fake, but like the more you think about it, like you convince yourself that that's the reality. I'm like, oh, I really haven't like felt the baby kick like all day. Even though like I know I felt one in the bath, but like usually like these days like I can feel the baby a lot. So then like I was dreaming about like the lack of kicks, and then I woke myself up at 4 a.m. and I was like fully convinced that something was wrong. Like nothing was wrong. I was like laying in bed, Googling how to feel the baby kick. I laid in bed for 4 hours on my left side, like tapping the belly. Sorry, not for 4 hours. At 4 a.m. for 1 hour until I felt 3 kicks. Like I was having the craziest like psychosis in the night. And I was like telling you, I felt nothing in my belly. I felt like I was like back on Ozempic. Like I felt like skinny as a needle.
Oh, I'm sorry for that.
It was terrible. Like
you.
It was terrible. The tricks the mind plays.
Yeah.
And I got terrible sleep because of it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But this morning, he was like, I'm here.
Right. Well, at least, maybe he was just trying to give you like a restful sleep. Most people complain the baby only kicks in the night.
It was too restful. It was too restful. Things were too quiet.
Yeah, but that's actually kind of nice, like very considerate. I feel like it bodes well for his personality. Like he's very much a people pleaser.
Jackie, let me tell you, I almost took myself to the emergency room. Like that's how like I was like really convincing myself something was wrong.
Yeah, and it's like, I think that happens a lot to people. And then you also hear stories where like someone's like, I knew something was wrong. And so I went to the hospital.
Yes,
and I was
and
right.
you're supposed to like trust that instinct.
But how many times do we know something is wrong and nothing is wrong?
I know. And I was like, I was like going to text Dr. Fox. Like and I'm glad that I didn't, because like it's like nothing happened, but I don't know. I just like had a feeling, but my feeling was wrong.
He told you to come in the morning and just get on the monitor and like, you'll see the kicks and they'll send you home.
Yeah. All I was to say, it was a fitful night's rest.
I think they deal with that often.
I think a lot of girls take themselves to the emergency room and are like
trusting their intuition.
Yeah. Just being like, making sure there's a baby in there. It's like, there's so much trust, in pregnancy. Like the fact that there is a baby in there,
Yeah.
Like according to who?
The monitors, the lack of period.
No, but when you haven't been like in between your doctor's appointments.
Yeah. I mean.
It's like, according to who? God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Profound.
Thank you.
Other than that, have you had a splendid evening?
Yeah, I finished Running Point on Netflix. I felt like maybe it was 1 or 2 episodes too long.
Okay.
But that's me. I like short things.
You'll get to share your thoughts because you chose a Running Point story.
I did choose a Running Point story, and that wasn't because, like, selfishly, I just finished it. I actually was wondering the content of the story. I was wondering if Chet Hanks got any acting advice from his father, Tom. And you know what? Page 6 is going to let us know today. I think, what is that? Probably like 3rd or 4th story fodder, right?
5th. Stay tuned for the details. You don't want to miss this.
Coming right up. After the break.
After the break. Should we do the break? That's so beautiful. Well, I also have to sing, so it's like not perfect, but it is time for the Fast 5 stories you need to know. You do.
I know you mean when you say like some days it's not like it doesn't flow naturally. I feel like you just forced that. Like
I did because you literally like held a gun to my head.
I bet you over and
singing.
spanked you. Yeah, you know what? You don't have to do it anymore.
Thank you so
Only
much.
when it feels right. Only when it feels right.
Okay, I'm doing something else. We've got the Fast 5 stories for you after the break. Hit
and
it,
the
coach.
The break is now brought to you by SmartMouth. So
After a word from our sponsors.
Yes. SmartMouth is the only mouthwash scientifically proven to eliminate and prevent bad breath for 24 hours with just 2 rinses a day. So SmartMouth prevents bad breath 12 times longer than the leading brand. And it's basically confidence in a bottle. Its unique dual chamber bottle keeps their 2 powerful solutions separate until you're ready to rinse. Once you pour the 2 solutions into a cup, you'll activate the Smart Zinc technology, and that zinc ion activation is the key to eliminating and preventing sulfur gas, which is the scientific term for bad breath, and it is a secret to all day fresh. I feel like a lot of the options out there on the market for like minty fresh breath are just like perfumes. They're masking the issue. They're not targeting the issue. And I like that SmartMouth is a company like dedicated to science. Like if I was a smart scientist and I would want to solve a problem, like bad breath would be one of them. So the inventor of SmartMouth is very much like on the same page as me. I'm very breath conscious of my own breath, other people's breath, especially now with like my canine-like senses. I can't take people with bad breath. Sometimes I could smell the inside of Ben's stomach. It's just like really too much. So SmartMouth is just a staple in our household. And if you're really looking to tackle bad breath, not just mask it, not just temporarily fix it, highly recommend you checking out SmartMouth. You'll never have bad breath again. And you can find SmartMouth at Walgreens, Walmart, or Amazon. Or you can visit smartmouth.com/toast and you'll snag a special discount on your next SmartMouth purchase. That's www.smartmouth.com/toast. Don't miss out on 24-hour fresh breath. Your mouth will thank you, and so will your pregnant wife. Today's episode is also brought to you by Alara Health. 1 in 3 women have a hormonal health condition like PCOS, endometriosis, hypothyroidism, or Hashimoto's, and so many struggle to feel heard or receive ongoing care to manage it. Well, Alara is on a mission to revolutionize women's healthcare, and they provide expert science-backed and non-judgmental care that addresses the root cause of your symptoms so you can finally feel supported and in control. So whether you have a diagnosis or you need answers for symptoms like fatigue, irregular periods, fertility challenges, pelvic pain, acne, weight gain, unwanted body hair, Alara provides care from women's health experts to uncover the root cause. Through comprehensive hormone testing, ongoing expert medical care, nutritional support, and tailored treatment plans, including medications when needed, Alara helps you feel your best and manage your symptoms and conditions. It's trusted by over 15,000 women. Alara provides compassionate, effective care that you can count on all in one place. 9 in 10 patients rated their first visit with 5 stars. So take control of your hormonal health with Alara Health today and get 25% off your first month of personalized expert care by visiting alarahealth.com/toast today. Alara is redefining women's health with expert care for your unique journey. So get started with their Compassion First expert care and 25% off your first month when you go to Alara Health, ALLARAHEALTH.com/toast, and you will enjoy 25% off your first month right now. That's alarahealth.com/toast, alarahealth.com/TOAST.
Thank you, TURT.
You know what? Not to sound like Ben having like an Eastern like medicine
An Eastern
thought.
moment.
Yeah, an Eastern moment. But does anybody ever realize that the word meditation is medication without the C?
Yeah. Well, no, I haven't, but yeah. Fast.
But it's kind of powerful when you think about it, right?
Powerful. Why don't you swap out your medication for some
meditation? Something to think about.
Swap out the C for the T.
Correct. And that's what being dyslexic, that's the type of like really intellectual thoughts you're going to get from a girl who reads ads who is definitely dyslexic. I definitely, like when I read these ads, the words are just like all over the page.
It's a lot reading.
I'm definitely living with dyslexia.
Oh, that's really wonderful. You should explore that because I feel like
Piper, no. No, I don't want to explore it. I live to have like 6 undiagnosed medical conditions. I have ARFID.
Live for 6 diagnosed.
Coccydynia.
It's changed as a woman.
It has, but like
TMJ,
I diagnosed
IBS.
I do have, yes.
So
Thank you for
thank
you for reminding everyone about my IBS. I appreciate it.
She has IBS.
Whenever someone like talks about their IBS, and I'm not saying that we should ever be ashamed of our illnesses, like speak your truth. But as somebody who like talks about IBS, like I need to stop talking about it because I just know the person I'm telling is like envisioning me on the toilet making a duty. And like I don't want that image in their head.
No, but I feel like IBS can go either way where it's like, oh, maybe she doesn't duty. Like,
well, people don't realize I had the type of IBS where I was constipated.
so
okay?
I feel like if you want people to think that you don't poop, you could say that you have IBS. Because if you say you have nothing, then of course you poop, like you're regular.
Regular.
But if you have IBS, like perhaps you don't poop.
Yeah, but I need them to know it's the good type of IBS. The beautiful
Aladdin.
type.
It's IBS Aladdin.
So yes, I did technically get diagnosed with IBS, but I haven't gotten diagnosed for my dyslexia or my ARFID.
And I just feel like if you did, that could really become a cornerstone of your personality.
And these are the invisible illnesses that me and millions of Americans are living with every day.
Well, certainly ARFID is invisible.
Yeah.
Dyslexia seems more tangible.
No, dyslexia is real. And I'm telling you, I feel like I have it.
How do you get tested?
I don't know. I feel like if you made it out of like elementary school without getting tested, like it's too late
Like
for
you're
you.
doing
Like who gets late in life dyslexic?
No, you literally
like,
read 50
diagnosis.
books a year. You're going to be okay. Whether even
It's
if you
so
have
true.
dyslexia, like you're strong and you're pushing through.
Think about how many I could read if I finally tackled my lifelong battle with dyslexia.
If all the words were straightforward.
Correct.
Well, that's something to think about. Unlocking potential. And that's what we do on this podcast. We help you unlock your potential through meditation and medication.
100%. And mediation.
Well, ain't that the truth?
What are we even talking about?
And lemonation, because our first...
Lemonation! Oh my God. Could this story have dropped at a worse time yesterday? As our asses are getting up from the chairs, something Jackie and I have been waiting for months finally comes out. Now, I'm glad that I actually had a minute to think about it because sometimes getting breaking news on the show is great, but I don't get time to like really fully form my thoughts.
Yeah, no, and yesterday's episode was stacked, and today is a Fridays with a lot of TV news. So, like, we needed this as our lead story. But you guys, Meghan Markle's podcast with Lemonada Media has launched. We have a title, we have artwork, we have a description.
Years after being announced, and very vaguely when it was announced, we didn't get the name of the show, the concept of the show.
And like,
we have it all now.
She's already had a podcast. Don't forget Archetypes on Spotify. And then Lemonada was acquiring her podcast. So you would think like Archetypes on Lemonada, sure, whatever. No, it's a whole new thing. So like Archetypes is in the can, like flop. We're going to call it a flop on Archetypes, yeah?
No, and we're also calling it, that's a wrap on Archetypes. Like it's over.
No,
I thought
like,
maybe Lemonada would be the second coming.
I thought so too, but no, like you did like 2 10-episode seasons of Archetypes and that was it. So we're gonna
over.
That's a flop. We're calling that.
1000%.
Officially.
Yeah.
Meghan is now launching Confessions of a Female Founder with Lemonada Media. It comes a year after she struck a deal with the company for her podcast. The series will launch on April 8th. It will see her have candid conversations with female founders and friends who open up about the struggles, the success, and the never before told stories that took many of them from starting a company to selling it. Per the logline, the series allows audiences to be a fly on the wall and hear the unfiltered stories behind the success of notable female founders, while also sneaking a peek behind the curtain of Meghan's own entrepreneurial journey, launching as ever. It's an 8-part series that will see episodes released weekly.
And they announced the first guest.
Who?
Danielle from Summer House, founder.
Oh, Turdy. I was like, I missed it.
No, I was sitting on that joke for like 10 minutes.
I was like, damn, I was in that truck for too long.
No, and it just kind of like brings my first and initial thought about this. It brings it home. There is no 2 words, actually just 1 word that I hate more than founder. To me, founder is the new entrepreneur. It's code for unemployed. It is meaningless. Like, and yes, there are founders of companies, and like, yes, like Mark Zuckerberg's a founder, but it is colloquially taken on this like toxic internet hustle culture, like founding, like shut up. Yeah. It means nothing. So to put it in the title of your podcast, and I think if you had broken this news to me on the show yesterday, I would have the same thought yesterday this didn't require deep thought. This is a very bad name for a show.
And a pretty cringe concept that's pretty overdone. I feel like, there has been this moment and this girl boss, CEO, lean in. And that was then, and that really did have a big moment. And now we're in like a new phase of it where like it doesn't have to be this way and like just corny, cringy. And I do feel like it sets the bar just like lower for women. Like it's like, I don't know. I think I understand why she's doing like females because like also Lemonada is like elevates women's voices. Yes. So I feel like Lemonada was like female, but I don't think she pushed back. I think she's like female, and everyone in the room is like female.
Yeah, well, I feel like if this podcast had been launched 5 years ago, like Elizabeth Holmes would have been a guest. Like that's when you say founder, like that's the type of person you're attracting. And I hate this culture. Now, if she's having like, I guess it really does depend on the guests, right? And she did get very good guests on Archetypes. The conversations weren't really interesting, but the guests were. She had Mariah Carey, she had Andy Cohen, I believe she had Mindy Kaling.
I feel like we wasted the good surprise on them. Like
1,000%.
Who really wants to be a guest on this? It sounds very unserious as we guide Meghan into her founding of her new brand As Ever, which is like a jam that she slapped a label on. Like it's not really big business. And the people that you would want to hear from, the real female founders in this country, like Sarah Blakely. That's who we want. She's the richest self-made billionaire in the country. That's who should be your first guest on the show. Bethany Frankel.
By the way, I feel like Sarah Blakely could be the first guest on the show. She's like promoting those sneaks.
Emma Grede. And yes, I'm just going down the Shark Tank female
Yes,
guest
Emma
list.
Grede. That's a very good one.
Lori, Barbara Corcoran.
Yes.
Kylie.
Kim. Yeah, Kylie.
Pat McGrath.
By the way, there are a million ways that she could do this well. Like the name is cringy, but like if she has half the guests that you just mentioned, like real women like talking about like their business sense, business strategy, who have like really achieved amazing things, that like has potential to be interesting. I don't think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be like, how can I make this about me? Because a theme with all these projects that Meghan's recently been launching and like actually the things that are coming to fruition is like they all are in promotion of As Ever. And like, that's really boring.
Yeah, no. And if you're just interviewing people and getting their stories, then having a more anonymous host and a professional host is better because we're getting the best out of this person. But if it's always supposed to tie back to Meghan, which it should because she's Meghan Markle and we're tuning in for her, but that's not like a great conversation because we're trying to do too many things. Like this reminds me also, of course, like Diary of a CEO, which I think I've never listened, but like is amazing. I feel like I would say
it's also like the leading business podcast.
I feel like I can say that based on its track record, the clips I've seen. It's been around forever. It's a great concept. So this is like a very watered down version of that concept that has been done. Women are always talking to other women. How'd you get here? How I built this. Like we got it. Yeah. We got it. This is not an original idea. It's not exciting. It's not something that only Meghan Markle can do. There are things in this world that only Meghan Markle can do. A former princess, Duchess of Sussex. And this is not, anyone can do this. By the way, there's 2 other podcasts with this name.
Yeah. And so I think that it's disappointing, especially because I feel like with her TV show, one of my biggest takeaways was that she wasn't, I would say the thing that she lacked the least in that TV show was the hosting capability, like making eye contact with camera and funny references and stories and personal anecdotes and jokes. And that's all a podcast is, right? It's just your voice. And I feel like her voice was the thing that was really missing from the TV show, maybe because she saved it for the podcast. I don't think that's it, but like it just doesn't give me a lot of hope that this will be like really substantial when it comes to getting to know Meghan. And that's like all we want. I feel like that's all the feedback that we give, but also a lot of people is like just scratching the surface a little too much, which is fine. Nobody's compelled to like share their life with you, but don't do a podcast, don't do a TV show and a book. And a documentary.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
so
for someone who doesn't have a lot to give,
open a vein.
She's spreading herself too thin for someone that doesn't even have that much left in the tank.
And who's seemingly unwilling to like open up and like, you know, bleed out for a podcast, which is fine. You don't have to, but like that's the best podcasts are people just like bearing it all. That's what the medium kind of requires from a host.
I don't even know what that would look like from her. And I feel like she thinks that she has, like, right? Wasn't Oprah opening up and bleeding out and wasn't the documentary?
Yeah, I will say, I think Oprah's probably the most honest and vulnerable like she had been with us up until that point. And she's kind of like closed off ever since then. Which again is fine. No celebrity, no matter how famous you are, nobody is entitled to know your innermost thoughts, but don't launch platforms built
Don't
on
make
the
your business
premise
your
of that.
innermost thoughts.
Yeah. So, I mean, it hasn't come out yet, so there's still potential, but just name, like so corny. And seriously, chuggy.
Like so Lemonada, honestly.
In the worst way. Like sometimes something can be Lemonada and it's like Lemonada.
Like Wiser Than
Sometimes-
Me with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Lemonada.
Yes, that show is really popular.
But this is Lemonada.
Yeah, it's just like corny ass International Women's Day type shit, you know?
And the photo is not making me want to tune in more than I already did or didn't.
Agreed. The photo is giving like stripped back, acoustic, you know, hair in a pony,
But it's not
jeans and a
her
tee.
confessions. So why do
I
we need
know.
you strip back? Aren't you Barbara Walters? Get your glasses on. You're interviewing. We're
Yeah.
going to work.
And also when she was like, quote, interviewing her guests on her Netflix show, which maybe she wasn't interviewing, they were just like conversing. It was all about Meghan, which is great. Like I want to know more about Meghan.
Meghan.
But she Oh, that was funny. Just also like came out of left field. I don't know why I feel like the universe that you exist in, like I watched Drake and Josh like all the time growing up with Margot. Like I feel like you never even saw an episode of Drake and Josh. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, maybe not as much as you, but I obviously know the lore and I know Meghan.
Yeah.
That's
Oh my
how
God,
I
you
feel.
actually scared me. Like just now. Meghan. If you listen to The Good Guys, he actually does it all the time.
That's so funny. I hope that he like does it when they talk about Meghan Markle.
I don't think they talk about Meghan Markle, but if they did, he would say
Sad.
Meghan
That's
Markle.
why it'll never be great.
So true. Just the
good.
good guys. I forgot what I was saying, but all that to say, like, disappointing.
You said that the guests always talk about Meghan.
Oh, yeah. And it's like they came with like pre-recorded stories about like something that paints Meghan in a flattering light, like the makeup artist when she ordered me room service for the first time, Mindy talking about the Jack in the Box. Like it was all in service of Meghan, which is fine. But for a podcast where we're interviewing other people, maybe Meghan really will take a backseat and just like ask thoughtful questions, which is good if the guests can carry.
No, but also all those questions on the show, on the TV show, like it was the producer prompts. Like
Yeah.
you didn't hear Meghan ask the question because like someone behind the camera did. It was like, what was the first time you met Meghan? What was that like? Like that
We
wasn't
were both
even,
on TV shows for 7 years.
What's it like being on, like it wasn't even her asking the questions. This is just like really a bad idea. And
Yeah.
I don't understand why they're doing all this.
I don't know.
Are
She
there
works
not
too
simpler
hard.
ways to make money for them?
That's a really, really good point because they're very well connected. I
Because
think
this
when
is
you get
all
to a
about
certain
money.
level, yes, of course, they live like a very fancy life and they come out of the woodwork every couple of years to do a project. Harry obviously was just doing the books and then they took a break and now it's Meghan's turn. Like they each take turns paying the bills. And I think when you get to a certain level of celebrity and like you're so well connected, like there are kind of easy ways for you to make money, not public facing, right? Like you get opportunities to invest in random things that are like 100%, you know, sure to go.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and I don't know why they insist on doing so much public-facing work to pay their bills, because I do believe
Especially
that,
when the whole thing was they wanted their privacy.
right, and I do believe like all the work that they do, even though Harry definitely is like, I need to tell my story, and we're like, okay. I feel like for the most part, a lot of the projects they take on are seriously just paychecks, which is very regular of them. We all got bills to pay. And I don't know why they insist on doing it in like a public facing way. Like I know that's definitely one way to do it.
Yeah.
But invest. There's like when you're that rich, like you just get these opportunities like to make money. Your money makes money for you.
Yeah, and Harry comes from money.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But I guess they were getting like these big deals, like $20 million from Spotify. Like, is there an easier way to make $20 million? That's kind of
I don't know.
RG.
Yeah.
20 mil from Netflix.
It's also really interesting how
But
he is
does
completely.
Lemonada have the big bucks?
Yes. They're huge.
They have the big bucks?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we should like kind of shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's why I said like you were being negative. I'm like, no, Lemonade is amazing.
Lemonada is the place to be, especially for women in podcasting.
Female founders.
That's for sure. Female founders, of course. Like, it would be, I just say this because I'm jealous. It would be a dream to be with Lemonada.
It is also very interesting that Harry is completely absent from all of her projects these days. Like he didn't show up on the show.
What they say.
Yeah, I know. I feel like it signals like and maybe this is just me projecting because I can't fucking stand Harry. Like I really, even with the show Meghan with Love, like I didn't like it, but like I enjoy her. She's pretty. I can't fucking stand this man. Like, and maybe other people feel that, and like his Q score has gone down, so they're just keeping him, behind the curtain for a while because he's not going to be on the Female Founders podcast. He wasn't in With Love, Meghan, even though it was a show about like home.
Mm-hmm. Home and hearth.
Home and hearth. So where in the world is Harry Mountbatten?
Windsor.
Sussex.
Duke. I don't know. And I don't think they're getting divorced because that is what the streets like are always saying about them. I do not think they're getting a divorce. I don't think they could ever get a divorce. And I don't think they'll ever will get a divorce, no matter how much they might hate each other.
Yeah, I agree.
What I think. What could, like, seriously, could you imagine? No.
I guess there would have to be like irrefutable evidence of like, maybe like him at a strip club or, like a picture. I don't know.
No. There's no
they
way.
would work through it.
Bound for life.
All that to say, I probably won't be listening to this.
No. And who will be, all's to say?
I don't know, because it feels like she has no fans left.
It's
like,
true.
How is it us? Like, we are her biggest fans. Yeah, you have to call
She's
Stassi.
like my pulse check on like Meghan stands. Like, how are we feeling? What does this make us feel?
It feels like everyone has left her.
But like everyone hasn't left her until Stassi has left her. Like, truly, if she has 0 fans, then Stassi has walked out the door.
It's devastating.
So I need to know. But I do feel like I didn't see Stassi posting like, oh my gosh, with love.
With love.
Please.
Yeah, I know. She's been actually noticeably silent.
Real quiet.
Yeah.
Well, that's the latest in podcasting. Confessions of a Female Founder, you guys. Finally, the one we've all been waiting for.
Also, like the trope confessions of is such like a tired, especially for a podcast, but like just in general, culturally, it's just a very tired trope. Like confessions of a teenage drama queen, confessions of a shopaholic. It's very like overused and tired. And then the Female Founders, it's just like really corny.
Unless Ina Garten named her memoir Confessions of a Contessa.
No, her name should have been Barefoot Confessions.
Barefoot Confessa.
Sure.
That was the only way. But I agree.
It's a tired trope.
And I just don't feel like we're going to be getting a lot of confessions. It's just a hunch.
These are my confessions.
I am curious who the guest will be, especially like the first guest. Let's make a prediction. That would be fun.
Oprah.
Oh.
Like Meghan did Oprah a huge solid. Like anyone would have wanted that interview. She could have gone to any publication. It was huge for Oprah, huge for Meghan too. But at the time, she could have gone anywhere. And I don't know if Oprah has paid her back yet.
That's so true. That's a really good one. That would be newsworthy.
That would be good too. And they could talk about the interview and the fallout. Like that would be interesting.
Yeah. That would be worth it for sure.
You want to put in your prediction?
I would like to put in a prediction. Okay.
We need to make an app. You know how like Jake Paul and like Barstool, they have like betting sports apps?
Yes,
like,
we
need a betting app on like things that we care about. Like who will be Meghan Markle's first podcast guest?
Yeah. Female Founders USA. Sorry.
Oh, because that's what her team did.
So true. Okay. 2024's most intriguing women entrepreneurs. Literally, I feel like I'm rifling through there.
Or what about like Gwyneth?
Oh, that's a good one.
Because Gwyneth has a very big wellness company, similar to what I think Meghan would want to build. Different SKUs, but similar. She also, I feel like they live near each other. They both like garden and shit. They're very green. Goop has a huge podcast, so that would be like a good alignment. Don't you think
they're almost too similar? They either would get, I feel like if they're not publicly associated yet,
didn't we think that about Poosh and Goop, and then there she was doing a collab? I feel like Gwyneth is so successful, like nobody can really touch her, and there are a bunch of copycat brands, and that's what Poosh is, like from other celebrities, and I think Poosh is like really actually successful because it's so authentic to Kourtney, but it is like inspired by, everyone is inspired by Gwyneth. So when you're at the top, like you're not easily shooketh.
You know what? I'm gonna go Emma Grede is my guess.
It's a really good guess,
except she is British.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, is she a monarchist?
Royalist or an anarchist?
Oh, now it's getting political.
So who knows? But yeah, she's super British.
That's a good call.
Okay, we shall see. To be determined. April 8th.
Sound off in the comments.
April 8th.
Yeah, add it to your list. And sound off in the comments. Who do you hope to or think we will see as one of Meghan's 8 guests on the new Lemonada show, Confessions of a Female Founder, coming to an iPod near you.
Are you ready for our next story?
Yeah.
Actually, a female founder that she could have on, Wendy Williams, is on The View today.
Yes, I guess Oprah didn't snag that interview. The View got it.
Wendy Williams wants her guardian to get off her neck. The former daytime talk show host called into The View for a pre-taped interview exclusively obtained by Page Six, in which she got candid about her current conservatorship. The interview kicked off with her explaining her hospital visit and her decision to get an independent psych test, which she says she passed with flying colors earlier this week. She said, "I needed a breath of fresh air. I needed to see the doctor, so that's why I went to the hospital," she said. Hold on.
Honestly, I think the sheer fact that she sat for an interview speaks to her mental capacity. And I know I keep comparing it to Britney, and I'm sorry, but that's really the only frame of reference that we have. And even in the years that Britney's been freed, she's never sat down for an interview because it really requires a lot of like mental fortitude and lucidity.
Yeah.
That, I mean, I haven't seen the interview yet and it was just recorded, but sounds like Wendy kind of did.
Yeah, but it's also pre-taped over the phone, so not like entirely like live.
Oh, I didn't see that over the phone.
But still, Britney didn't do a pre-taped over the phone interview.
No, of course. And the day after she left the facility.
Right.
Like,
Wendy said that
give Wendy a week and she'll be sitting down with Oprah.
Right. She said and also to get blood work done for her thyroid condition, and made it clear it was her choice to get an independent evaluation on her incapacitation, which I don't have it. How dare they say I have incapacitation? I do not, she said.
She must be so mad.
I can't even imagine.
And I imagine that comes through on the phone interview because I'm like hearing it even in just like your paraphrasing. To literally have your actual freedom and like stripped from you, like you're literally stuck. Like it's so crazy. And if it all is what she says it is, and it's not like, you know, this is actually a person suffering from dementia who thinks that they're fine, and it's, you know, it's a Frida McFadden novel.
I was going to say it's like Coho.
Yeah. If it is what she's saying it is, who's going to prison? Like, you can't just throw someone in jail and throw away the key.
Yeah, that's very true. There needs to be repercussions. Not to change the subject, but speaking of novels,
yes.
Did you see the opening scenes of Verity being shot in the streets with Dakota Johnson and Josh Hartnett?
So I did. It's reminding me of like when the first pictures of It Ends With Us came out, like it went so viral negatively, but it was just like the photos were everywhere, seeing this book that everyone in America has read come to life. And now these pictures of Dakota Johnson filming in the New York City streets. Now everybody, and I don't want you to tell me because I did read the book and everybody's like, oh, I know what scene this is.
I know what posted that.
Yeah, you. Am I okay? I have no idea. I thought the book takes place at a house in like Connecticut.
So this is not a spoiler because it's the opening scene of the book.
I don't really think I want to know. I really want to go in like eyes wide open. But everybody, like I saw all the influencers like who read, they were like, oh, not this scene.
Wait,
I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about?
I posted.
Yeah. But you are like one of 5 people that I saw.
So you know, like I didn't even know Dakota Johnson was in this movie, or I didn't remember it if I didn't know that, or Josh Hartnett, I didn't know they started filming. So I just saw a video of them filming the scene of her and the blood and him and the
So is
traffic.
Dakota the woman who comes?
Lowen.
And then Anne Hathaway is the lady upstairs, Verity.
Is Anne Hathaway Verity?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah. I thought they would both be blonde.
I thought Verity was blonde. She could be. I mean, I didn't see Anne Hathaway.
I think also the thing is maybe subliminally is that they look alike. And they do.
Right.
Dakota
and he
Johnson
has like the
and Anne
same
Hathaway
taste.
look alike.
Yeah. I love Dakota Johnson.
I don't know
if
Amanda Seyfried and Sydney Sweeney for Housemaid, they needed the brunette version for Verity.
I don't know if I knew consciously that Dakota Johnson was in this movie.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know it consciously. So I saw a video of her in the street with the blood in the traffic and him whisking her away. And I knew exactly what movie they're shooting and what scene this is. And I posted it. Then my sister thought I was.
I'm sad that I didn't have that same experience. I read the book so long ago. I have no idea.
It is the opening scene of the book. Think about why she moves in. Think about why she moves in. Let's rewind.
I thought she got a job.
To do what?
To write.
Right. So.
You know what? I really do want to be surprised.
Okay. And for any of you who didn't read Verity, I know you also want to be surprised.
Right. And I'm sure you'll see the movie. It's very good. Verity good.
Yeah, it is good. So I'm excited.
And it must be nice for Colleen Hoover to have movie like photos from her movie leaked and then be received positively.
Viral positive.
Because it's never happened to her. Yeah. You're supposed to be like, what is this feeling? So sudden and new for Colleen.
Yeah. Hopefully she's entering a new phase of like positive book adaptation.
And, you know, I only recently saw Pearl Harbor for the first time, which is where Josh Hartnett got his start. So like now I feel really invested.
Yeah. Jury's out on him for the role.
I agree.
Like, I'm open.
He is beloved, by the way,
some
like by
of,
the people.
The way he was like just being in the scene from the videos, like jury's out. Is all I'll say.
I agree. It's important to know, like, we are unique in that take, which is, you know, very on brand for us. America loves him. He is like beloved.
No. And I'm not saying like jury is out. Okay.
Do you find, because this is like a new media, like new age issue, that like a movie gets made and we see stills from it, right? Like we see the costumes, we see the hair and makeup. Nothing, it's still surprise what happens, but like some of the visuals are spoiled. Do you find that to affect the movie watching process? Like a spoiler a little bit?
No, I think it like hypes me up. And the few examples of that where my favorite like books were turned and we got photos before was like Luckiest Girl Alive. That was so hyper.
That was exciting. And you know what else? It was Brie Larson, Chemicals.
Oh, Lessons in Chemistry, yes.
Yes, I remember seeing that and being like, oh, fab, that's exactly how I pictured it.
And I feel like I remember seeing stills from Confessions of a Shopaholic before it came out, and that's my favorite book and was my favorite movie, and it just got me really excited. So this gets me excited. I mean,
when it's good.
The It Ends With Us issue was the outlier. Like, usually it's good. That's the only negative experience that I've had where it's like, no, you guys cut. Start from the beginning.
Well, I think about like, and just like that season 2 where they brought back Aiden, it was completely spoiled.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what you get when you shoot on the street. And I feel like they could have avoided that.
But also that's not book, because book, like, we know the story.
Right. So, but I guess it's just like a teaser of like the book world come to life.
It's a teaser of the world that they're building, and that gets me excited.
I agree.
And excitement excites me.
Why wouldn't it?
Seems reasonable.
1,000%.
Are you ready for our next story? Some TV news.
Is it 3?
It's 3.
Okay, yeah.
Ted Lasso season 4 is a go with Jason Sudeikis and a women's team. Juno Temple is in negotiations to join the returning cast as the Apple series heads to Kansas. So this is like exciting and annoying because Ted Lasso just ended and it was very bittersweet, and the whole season was like a big farewell and I love you to Ted Lasso. And that was about 2 years ago, and now Ted Lasso's coming back for another season.
And Juno Temple, I just had to Google, I just make sure that's Keeley.
That's Keeley, yeah, and we need Keeley.
We do. I feel like this is kind of weird. I didn't know that this was even up for debate. Like, it definitely felt like the show ended early, but that's of course like the sign of a good show. They're able to like tell their story on their own terms, go out on their own terms. So I was sad because I liked the show, and like when it ended, I was like, oh, that's a show that I'll miss. But I didn't feel like wronged or mad. They didn't leave us on a cliffhanger.
No, in the last season I found to be really bad. I didn't finish it.
Yeah, I agree,
found it to be actually unwatchable, and it came out during a time when I was desperate for TV. It was like Sir Claude era, and I could not finish it.
Well, spoiler alert, he goes back home to Kansas. And so I guess that's where this new show is picking up.
And it's a women's soccer team now.
Right, which is very on brand. I also think Jason Sudeikis, a lot of those people in Hollywood, they've all started to like own parts of the women's soccer league across the U.S. They're like trying to make it a thing. A lot of like Eva Longoria, Jennifer Garner are involved in the LA, I want to say the Angels is the name of the team.
That's nice.
So like all the... they're trying to create like a big league for women's soccer. So this is obviously like propaganda, not in a bad way. Like propaganda has a negative connotation, but like in service of that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of celebrities have like a big financial stake in women's soccer for some reason. They've all like decided that this is going to be the thing they want to create, like the next NBA.
Yeah, I don't think that is a fruitless idea growing up. Like,
me neither.
I was a female soccer player. I love soccer. I love Mia Hamm. Like, bring us back to the glory
in terms
days.
of, yes, well, soccer is not an inherently American thing. We happen to be quite good at it as women.
No, and like women's U.S. soccer is better than men's soccer. It's like, I don't know, gymnastics. I don't know why it shakes out that way, but it does.
It does. And so, and we have like a lot of like famous soccer. I don't know one American soccer player who's a man, but I can name like 11. Abby Wambach, Mia Hamm.
Who like, you know,
who walked on stage with Taylor Swift.
No, like David Beckham and Lionel Messi came to play.
No,
here.
that doesn't count. Of American descent, like the women. And I feel like they were just causing drama. Remember, we were talking about Ashlyn Harris.
Yeah.
Yes. And like, so I actually
like
follow a bunch of them.
Meghan. Yeah, we know them.
Right.
So
it's not a bad business venture. And I think like bringing in TV, because you know, like him and Olivia Wilde definitely like put money in years ago to like one of the LA teams or something.
Totally. Not to pit like women's, like struggling women's league against struggling women's league. But like,
but what does this mean for the WNBA?
Like, which league do you think has a better chance of success, the WNBA or women's soccer US?
It's a really good point. I mean, women's soccer has a much harder task because not only do they have to get people to care about women's sports, they also have to get Americans to care about a sport that really doesn't exist. Like the MLS, Major League Soccer, is like nobody gives a fuck. Like remember when in the Beckham documentary he talks about his time playing on the American team? Like seriously, there was 3 people in the stand.
No, and like they had full-time jobs. Like this was their like side hustle, was playing soccer.
And David Beckham's there like making $100 million. Like, so they have a harder job, although I do think it's more palatable for Americans. No, maybe not palatable. Maybe like it's been many years of the WNBA. And yes, people care now this year more. They do. The Caitlin Clark effect, the Angel Reese, like there's a lot going on. But there is you have to look as to why people haven't cared up until this point.
Yeah, no, it's like they've had their shot, multiple shots. Shot hasn't taken.
I will be very curious to see.
But
I do
also,
feel like as Americans, we miss
things-
out on the cultural like fun of soccer. Like soccer's fun.
But we have football and they don't.
Yes,
So
yes.
like I feel like we're actually all set, and I don't know if as a country we could like take on another sport in such a way. But I also think that these things of like getting people to care about things and like building worlds and teams and history, these take years. It's not like women's soccer is just going to be popular next year and be popular forever. Like you got to,
and maybe that's what the WNBA has been doing, and we're too in it to see.
Right? We need to zoom out. Like talk to us in 50 years.
Yeah. So I think that like even though the last couple of episodes of Ted Lasso weren't good, there is magic there, right? Like it's a good formula.
Yeah.
The characters are good. The writers are good. This will probably be excellent.
Yeah. And the premise sounds good. So it's a women's team. He's going back to Kansas. I think Keely might come on and probably be his PR girl again. I don't want the whole cast. I don't want to name names.
I really don't need the assistant coach.
I don't want to name names, but I don't want everyone, okay? And I'll
Who?
I just feel like I can't say it.
I don't like the assistant coach, the bald guy, or like the guy with the beard. What's his name? Like Eagle? It's like a bird.
Yeah. Let me find it.
Really,
and I just texted you.
He was my least favorite. You texted me who you don't. Wait, why? I love her.
I don't like her anymore. Like I don't know. She's just
Wow.
always like doing the most.
I like her. Jackie, can I put you on the spot and say who it is?
No, because now I feel like maybe I'm wrong for like not wanting
You
her.
are.
I am.
You are. She's like so, like what's wrong with her?
I don't know. She's not Keely.
No, she's not Keely. But I also need them to bring back Brett Goldstein, even though he's the writer. Roy, he's the writer on the show, so I'm sure he'll still be like involved in the project.
Yeah, the assistant coach actually like doesn't bother me so much, except when he got his own episode and he like went on a trip.
Oh my God, he was like walking through the tunnels on drugs.
Yeah, that was like really bad.
Horrible.
Yeah. Anyways, are you ready for our next story? Some more TV news.
Is it some more TV news that's brought to you by Booking.com? Booking.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes, of course.
Every time we use Booking.com to find a place to stay in the States, we know that they're going to have exactly what we're looking for. They have a huge variety of options from hotels to rentals. We know we can find exactly what we're looking for. We have found Booking.com really has something for everyone. So whether you're booking like a fabulous New York City trip, right? Maybe you want to come see a Broadway show, sleep in the city that never sleeps. You can do that on Booking.com and find the perfect hotel that's walking distance from all your favorite theaters. You can see any musical you want. And a gorgeous balcony where you can just look out of the cityscape and feel like Serena van der Woodsen. If you're looking to plan a beach trip, if you're looking to plan a trip that's family friendly or that's perhaps kid free of kids, whatever, they're both good options. They'll help you pick a hotel with lots of specifications. So if you're looking for something right on the beach, an indoor-outdoor pool, swim-up bar, no matter who you are, Booking.com helps you find the stay that's ridiculously right for you. And I feel like our needs are always changing when it comes to booking trips. Like back in the day, we used to, bright lights, big city, little hotel rooms. Now we need like a little bit more space. We have the kids. We like to have like a...
We need a playground. We need kid-friendly. We need high chairs.
So really, no matter who you are and whatever phase of life that you're in, Booking.com is the perfect place to book the fabulous vacation of your dreams. So find exactly what you're looking for on Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
And if they have a truck that we could touch, it wouldn't hurt.
If they're hosting Tate events, that also, that works.
Our next story, some more TV news, because we are Mike TV and we are addicted to the television.
And I did wonder about this. So when I saw the headline, I wondered, was Jason Isaacs wearing a fake penis when we saw his penis on White Lotus?
Which we didn't even talk about how we saw his penis, and it turns out it wasn't his penis, it was a prosthetic, so I'm glad we didn't even talk about it because it wasn't his real penis. Jason Isaacs,
every time I see a penis on TV, and then it doesn't happen a lot, so it's always big news. And then there's always, was it a prosthetic? Like, remember Sex Life when he had that big schlong in the shower? They're like, it's a prosthetic. Why? Like, women show their titties and they're not fake.
No, I didn't even wonder if it was a prosthetic. I was like, oh, there's his penis. And he wanted to show his penis on HBO today. Like, let him.
Well, I don't know why they get the option to wear a prosthetic.
No,
like
it's like,
that's actually, that needs to be talked about on Confessions of a Female Founder. Like, that's
let's talk
unequal.
about this. If Jason Isaacs doesn't want to show his real penis, can't we just take out that moment? It literally didn't move the storyline or anything.
At all. And it was actually kind of random.
It's actually not like all worthy that we're looking at a part. Like, it was shocking that he showed us his penis and okay, doesn't move the storyline, but that's classic HBO. But you're not even showing us his penis. So what does this prosthetic serve?
Yeah, no, it's an amazing point. They should have kept this secret in the vault because you're right. It was so not germane to the storyline. Like, and it actually is kind of not on brand for the dad, who's like this very buttoned up, tailored guy. So it was this random thing, and for it all to have been fake in service of what?
Right, like not necessary at all. It was like,
I'm more focused on the fact that like when there's nudity on a woman, like we've never seen a fake like boob, right? They're not wearing breastplates. They're tits.
Yeah,
tushies, we see tushies.
But boobs are like penis and vagina to penis. That's
no, I'm sorry, it's not the same because
I
men
know that you don't feel that way, and I don't feel that way either. But like, that's just what.
If a man does nudity, it's penis. If a woman does nudity, there are multiple options, right? There's breasts, there's tushy, there's vagina. Why? Like this, I need the intimacy coordinators and like the women's rights movements. I need them to get on this. Why do you get the option to do nudity? And if you don't do nudity as a woman, like you're penalized, right? Like it's you lose roles. And if you're a man, like you just slap on a prosthetic if you're not comfortable showing penis.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's actually the definition of inequality.
So you want to cage the nipple again?
I didn't say that.
You don't want
Once
to
again,
the nipple.
Your interpretation of my words is merely a reflection of your thoughts.
I literally didn't even share my thoughts on this. I hadn't spoken yet. You want to cage the nipple?
I didn't say cage the nipple.
You guys are going to.
I didn't say that.
She's flipping. She's flipping.
Okay. By the way, big talker. What are your thoughts?
I don't see a need for any of it. Man, woman, nothing.
Yeah.
Keep your junk in your pants. Keep your shirt on. It's just a show.
Keep your dong in your jeans.
And you know what? If you want to have the balls to show us your dong, better be the real thing.
It's so true. We want full frontal.
Except Jason Isaacs is my king. And I'm so glad he did a prosthetic. That was so the right move for him. He's so smart and brilliant.
No, yeah. Nothing but love and respect for our Thomas Ravenel. We're not speaking ill of him. We're just talking about the industry as in a general sense.
And let's talk about a prosthetic penis that really looked like a real penis. What is the journey of that thing? Like, does it lay on the prop table next to craft services?
I bet they keep it in like a warm climate so that when you slip it on, it's like not freezing. Kind of how like the gel at the doctor for the ultrasound, they keep it in the warmer.
Yeah.
Maybe they keep it in like a prosthetic warmer.
No, see, like all of that. That's like budget. Not necessary.
And then the intimacy coordinator's job is to like physically, I think, put it on.
And she like walking around with this little case of penis and she's like, coming through.
Yeah, and she definitely walks around also with like a fanny pack full of like different cosmetics needed, like some powder if the penis is shiny, maybe scissors to like trim the pubes.
And I don't want to put anyone out of a job ever.
Right.
But that's not needed.
Agreed.
Is what I'm saying. That part of the job.
Agreed.
But intimacy coordinator, of course, I'm not a monster.
No, she wouldn't dream.
I would never. I take SAG-AFTRA more seriously than anyone.
We've spoken more about intimacy coordinators in the last year than like any two people should.
We need to interview an intimacy coordinator.
I don't follow.
Who was also a female founder.
Well, I guess all female intimacy coordinators are female founders.
Well, not
in a
if they're like
sense.
contractors for a larger intimacy coordination company.
Oh, that's true. But maybe like they founded the company of intimacy
We need
coordinators.
to talk to the founder.
Yeah, only if she's a female.
She is only a female.
Correct. If you're like a man and your job is an intimacy coordinator, like, okay, creep. Creep
No,
much.
it's like these are women's issues.
Agreed. Right.
It's women who suffer on sets.
It's so true.
And you want to be like, I'm sorry, if I were a naked actress and my intimacy coordinator were a man, I'd say, please leave.
1000%.
There are some jobs that are only for women. Masseuse.
Pilot.
For women.
Doctor. President.
Yeah. Okay. She's going to Lemonada.
And, of course, founder of Lemonada.
Oh, Tardy cracked me up.
Thanks.
Are you ready for our Fit the Mental story, which is more TV news?
Is it about the brilliant advice Chet Hanks received from his father, Tom?
Yes, but it's also about how you've been duped a little bit by this story. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, because by the way, I only read the headline before I sent it to you.
So let me read you the story. I want to show you the insidious way that they report.
Hollywood is so sinister.
Headline, Chet Hanks reveals the acting advice dad Tom gave him to prepare for Running Point. Okay, click.
Yeah.
Chet Hanks.
Easy click.
Chet Hanks turned to his award-winning father, Tom Hanks, for acting tips ahead of his breakout role in Netflix's new hit show, Running Point. Quote, I've always asked him for advice when it comes to acting, and he's always given me really great advice, the rising star told Page Six exclusively at the 2024 MTV Video Music Awards last September.
But they wrote the article yesterday?
About an interview that they did last September that they're recycling.
Oh, this is so insidious.
Sinister. Chet shared that Tom told him 3 key things he has to do to be successful in Hollywood. So it's not even advice on Running Point. It's just advice in the business.
I'm completely uninterested in the rest of this story. I thought it was like actual advice about this project. And I was interested in it because I have felt like for years that there has to be like some bad blood between Tom and Chet. Like when you think of Tom's kids.
I thought Chet was on the outs.
Right. Like when you think about how his family might have like really been upset with him about a lot of his like public facing behavior over the years compared to his brother. Who's the other one? Colin Hanks.
Colin, and he's so buttoned up.
Oh my God, he's so buttoned up. He gets all the good roles. Like he's really well behaved. Right. He's very well behaved. So I feel like Chet has been the bad egg. And I could see like Rita and Tom being like annoyed with him. So the fact that Tom was giving him advice on Running Point, I was like, you know what?
The headline here said they speak.
Yeah, but this is a year ago. Who knows?
This is from September. And also, here's the advice, which, by the way, is just general acting advice and not specific to Running Point. He just said, quote, if you just know your lines and you show up on time and you're nice to everybody, that gets you a long way.
Okay, privilege, like bare minimum, do less.
So that's like not advice. That's the obvious.
Can I tell you, though, that his character...
That's the job. Do the job and show up.
Right. Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Maybe they don't speak.
Right. Well, the second half of the series, actually, he takes on a little bit of like a darker, up until this point, he's like a funny, haha, but something happens where he's like struggling and and he's actually like a very dynamic actor. He really crushed it. Like that's one of my biggest takeaways from the show is get Chet Hanks more roles.
Yeah, I'm so in agreement. And the show already is getting a second season. Unclear if he's in it, but if you just finish it, would that like poise him to be in it? It
could go either way.
Oh, he's either like on the team or not on the team?
No, he's like struggling with something personally. So like maybe he just like quits or he comes back, you know?
Yeah. Understood. So that's the stories that you needed to know.
I would say 4 out of 5 you needed to know, not last year's news from the MTV VMAs.
But I do think the lesson in media literacy was important.
Hugely important. And I'm glad that you didn't swap out the story once you realized it was a fake.
No, I think it's so important. I love that we've started calling out like these journalists.
Inconsistencies.
No, and also like the former singer / turn.
Yeah.
No, Hanks.
Well, also when I was looking for stories on Page Six, it was like, here are all the couples expecting in 2025. And like, it was really Z-list.
Were
like
you on
they
it?
had, no.
But you're such a Page Six darling.
I know, what the hell? Like they went out of their way because they had really like bottom of the barrel peeps. People I haven't even heard of.
That's really.
So it was obviously an oversight.
Thing, like just to hurt you.
Yes. Yes. Huh. So that's the last time I look for stories because I'm trying to help and I catch a stray.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like I have the opposite experience where I'm looking for stories. I'm like, hey, there's my sister. Oh, there's my brother-in-law.
That's nice. That's nice.
Oh, there's my friends.
Shall we dive into Queenie and Weenie, our final segment of the week?
Yeah, we should.
So Queenie and Weenie, you guys, a tale as old as time. Every Friday, Jackie and I like to wrap up the week in a little bow with a segment we call Queenie of the Week and Weenie of the Week. And it's Jackie and I sharing someone who we thought to be Queenie this week and somebody who acted like a Weenie. And again, it's not that serious. It's a 7-day title. You can be Queenie one week, Weenie the next. It's never happened, but it is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to go first? And should we do Queenie or Weenie? Let me
We
pull mine
go
up.
Queenie
I forgot who I chose.
first. We go Queenie first, and I'm sure there's like a more obvious Queenie of the week, but for some reason my mind keeps going to maybe Fume K, who has brought me so much joy this week and laughter, and I'm just really here for the renaissance of maybe Fume K.
I'm so down.
If that's okay with you. I know it's a little rogue.
It's totally fine. I'm just now realizing I chose 2 Weenies instead of a Queenie and a Weenie.
So kosher. So share your truth. Share your Cojourner's truth.
Okay, because I do have 2 Weenies.
Okay, share your first one.
The first Weenie is the San Francisco 49ers. Like, I think it was really not a smart move to drop my boyfriend Kyle Juszczyk. Like, I don't like that.
Okay, and then I'll go my first Weenie.
And then also, I said that because it was a jumping off point. Are you? I actually meant to talk to you about this offline. Are you familiar with any of like the WAG drama going on in the 49ers?
I saw we were being accused of burying it. I have not. It has not reached my desk.
It's actually ongoing. I had heard about it like a year ago. And the weird part is like, you know who Fred Warner is? He's like a big player on the 49ers.
I do know that he is engaged or married to a woman who is an influencer, and she was low-key on The Bachelor, and she does it. Yes. And she's like, a girly, and she's not with the other girlies.
Okay, so Fred Warner's, I think, wife, they have a baby together.
Yeah, Sydney Warner. Yeah.
She was on The Bachelor and then just like happened to have like a successful career as an influencer, married, and he's really good. So like she's really popular. And there's like a noticeable like schism up until this point between her and the other wives. Like when you think of all the girlies.
They're always together. And even when Olivia joined the team, like immediately she was in with the gals. Like they're obviously a welcoming bunch and they love an influencer.
And like over the years, she has like posted things that like led people to believe she really dislikes Kristen Juszczyk. And on Monday, when it was announced that Kyle was released, like everybody on the 49ers, all the other players, all the other WAGs are posting like crying, Kyle, we love you, pictures of Kyle from the last 10 years. Sydney starts posting, what an amazing, beautiful day. Isn't this the most amazing Monday you've ever seen in your whole fucking life? I love Monday. Like really, like very obviously being like, oh, Kyle was dropped, Kristen's leaving the team. I love it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of speculation about what the beef is. Nobody knows. People are just like guessing online. But a lot of people thought that was really kind of,
telling,
tasteless to celebrate the man losing his job. And that's why I chose the 49ers as my weenie, because I just wanted to tell you that.
Got it. That's crazy. I wonder what happened between the two of them. And also it's like, okay, so things worked out for her because she doesn't want to be around Kristen Juszczyk. Like, take the win and shut up.
Be the bigger,
like,
be humble.
Gracious. Like just be happy privately, and like things are looking up for you for whatever reason. Like now you've just made yourself look like an arse.
The villain.
Yeah. I can't imagine what the beef is. Like Kristen gets along with everyone.
So the streets and the internet, which they have no proof, they say it's like a disagreement on politics.
Who's what?
Well, they said that Sydney is more liberal, and then like some of the other WAGs, Kristen included, are more conservative. They have no proof of that. That's just like what.
They love to say that, like about everything.
It's giving Florida Georgia line.
It's everyone's go-to. It's giving Becca and Garrett.
Yes, but with Becca and Garrett, that was the case.
With Florida Georgia line, it was the case.
Correct.
It's giving sister. No, I don't think so, because even if the WAGs are like conservative leaning, they don't post anything. Like if they were so extreme, like they would post even a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's like their whole personalities.
No, but we have nothing to go on here. So I think that's like a lot of people's natural inclination is just to be like politics.
That's their favorite. That is always a good one, like Sarah and Ben.
Correct, which leads me to my second weenie of the week. Thank you so much. Just this entire season of Love is Blind, and I guess in a small way, I need to make myself the weenie of the week because I know a lot of our listeners only started picking up this season because it probably sounded really funny and interesting based on my funny and interesting recaps. Like how much did we laugh over the last month? Like if I was listening to a show, I would say, oh, I would watch Love is Blind. And the whole thing was full of losers, and I felt like a loser just watching it with the reunion that we recapped on Monday. Yeah, everything was truly the definition of weenie-licious.
Loser sneeze.
So I would say Love is Blind season, whatever, Minnesota season, and the San Francisco 49ers are my weenies of the week. I'm sorry, no Queenie this week. Not my fault. Everybody was acting like a weenie.
What does that say about the state of the world?
Correct. Who's your weenie?
My weenie of the week is James Kennedy, obviously.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Requires no explanation.
Agreed.
Behaved in a weedy-like fashion in all facets of his week.
Oh my God! Wait, we didn't even talk about Kelly Clarkson's new song with Rascal Flatts came out today. I'm moving on.
I'm sorry, I've been inside of a truck.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sorry.
The
We have to
Rascal
hang up.
Flatts
No, we have to hang up. I have to
album-
listen unless we're
The
gonna
Rascal
get
Flatts album that
copyrighted.
we spoke about at the beginning of the week, it hasn't come out yet. I think they're releasing song by song, and this morning they released
They're the
Kelly's
cover of my release radar. It's right here. I didn't even get to see my release radar because we were listening to Paw Patrol in the car.
the
I've
I'm
gotta
Moving
go.
On cover of Rascal Flatts with Kelly Clarkson. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me say my thoughts really quickly.
And can I just take off my helmet because
Yeah. Take your helmet off. Take your helmet off. I just want to say it's so good. I love the song I'm Moving On, but I really, I could have used more of a duet. It's basically a Kelly Clarkson cover, which I'm, of course, never complaining about. But the fun was that, like, they would be collaborating, and it's pretty much Kelly the whole time, and then, like, Gary at the end. There's never really any point in the song where they're singing together. I feel like they weren't even in the same room, and they didn't, like, harmonize with one another. I was looking for more, like, Pargy harmonies and the blending of vocals, and I didn't really get that. I just got, like, a beautiful Kelly Clarkson cover. It's still good, obviously. It's, like, the best song I've heard this year, but that's it. All right, Jackie, look alive. We're good. Put your helmet back on.
That was so funny. We're athletes. What can I say? This is a full contact
Correct.
sport.
That is our show.
That's our show. I have to go listen to I'm Moving On, so I am moving on from this show.
Thank you so much
Was
for
it a
listening to The
Narafi,
Toast.
and a Safi, or a Nalafi?
An hour 7, like very normal for us.
But it's very Narafi these days to do an hour 7.
okay. There's like literally someone at my door. I have to go.
Oh,
Hello?
okay. Oh, maybe it's your boy.
Yeah, I'm having wallpaper installed, but in 30 minutes.
Maybe he's early because he's excited to work with you.
Jackie's coming to town in a few weeks, so I'm getting our second studio set up where we can record together in person in a Pargy. There won't be frames, so everyone can just like unclench.
Everyone will be very upset. And there'll obviously
Maybe-
be like something missing in the air.
Maybe he's here early, so I gotta go. Thank you so much for listening to The Toast. I want to share. We deliver the fastest stories. You need to remember the Friday news for watching us on YouTube. Please don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as podcasts and podcast can be found. So it's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Video, iHeartRadio, Castbox, all the places where listen to podcasts. My name is Toast. Leave a 5-star review about a beautiful setting and goodly talented we are.
Love ya. Bye.